All right, Trey Draper, Memphis native, former Tiger basketball player, and now author. Winning Language comes out at the end of this month. Just give me the lowdown on what we could expect from this book.
Man, The Winning Language, the power of relationships, loyalty, and integrity. I feel like it's a lot of juice in the title, right? When you look at me and, people look at my story, I'm not the tallest, never was the most athletic, but I always found a way to make myself into rooms and stay in these rooms because of these three things: having relationships, having loyalty no matter what, and having integrity and just doing it the right way. So, and I wanted to tell that story and help people that look like me. And from there, I think myself and, Dr. Renee Meeks, who was just Principal of the Year at Seattle, so shout out to her. I'd be remiss if I did not talk about her, and Dr. Tasha Gilliam. they were very, very, very instrumental throughout this whole process.
What was the inspiration behind making it happen?
So I was doing an interview with Dr. Meeks and Dr. Gilliam, and they have a podcast called The Power of Engagement. And they wanted to interview me about, just my journey. And Dr. Meeks has been knowing me roughly my whole life, about 20 years of my life. So from there, I did the interview, and once she got to reading out, humbly my accolades, as far as coaching and playing and, just training, and she was like, people need to hear this, because it's not a coincidence that, you won 107 games being a part of the University of Memphis basketball program when I was in college. You won 110 games as an assistant coach at Mitchell. Then you guys won a state championship. You won a cross-country championship. And then you get the IMG, who's now the best school in the world to me, in my opinion. But, they wasn't as known before we got there, and now they're on the map. We won a first ever national championship there. And she asked, what was, along every stop, give me some background, what happened? And we said, wow, like, these are things that have been along the journey, every step of the way. And we just wanted to kind of tell their story.
So people might hear this and think, okay, this is going to be a lot of things based around sports and athletics, which I know is your background.
Right.
But really what you're trying to convey these are life lessons that you learn with sports as the avenue there, correct?
Absolutely. Sports is just the avenue to life. When you think about, for example, you think about just sports, right? And the winningest teams, an example that I reference in the book is the San Antonio Spurs, right? You look at, they have accountability. They have great relationships. They have teamwork, right? So when you look at them, and guess what else they have? They're on time every day, right? They work hard. They go the extra mile to put in, and they want to see each other succeed. So when you do that, but I also reference the business in the book, and I say, wow, guess what? They have to be on time every day. They have to work as a team. They have to have accountability. They have to have responsibility. It's not just micromanaging, it's delegation, it's empowerment. So when you compare those stories to say, wow, Greg Popovich empowered Tim Duncan to be a leader, but this Fortune 500 company empowered his CEO, it's like they're the same things. Yeah. And it's like, this is why this sports team is successful. When you really take a deep dive into the actual stories of why these people are successful, you see that it goes hand in hand. And for myself and the team, we wanted to say, and we just wanted to give people a real life journey, because even if you're playing sports, if you're a CEO, if you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, if you're an occupational therapist, you have to be engaged with people. People is in the world, so that's where the relationships come in. And then from there, the rest is just kind of sells itself.
How would you sum up your own journey that led to this, to putting these words on paper and trying to get this message out?
Man, I'm a hard worker. I rarely sleep, man. I want to be involved in anything that can motivate the youth and motivate, just being honestly, African-American young men from the city of Memphis, because when you look at us in this city, there's an image, right? But that's not everybody. And what I wanted to do is say, hey, a young man, African-American from inner city Memphis, who had no handouts, who just had a family that supported him, you can do it, right? And I feel that if you read this book and you read these stories and you read these relationships and you master the loyalty part, that's the biggest part, right? right? And I think that's the biggest part about me because I'm loyal, man. I'm loyal to anybody that's loyal to me. You know, I often say that, you know, if I know you'll do it for me, I'll do it twice for you. You're right. And that's kind of how, you know, kind of how I feel about it. So when you take this book and you say, all right, what's the route we're going to go? You break it down in two sections, right? I have a principles section and say, all right, these are the principles that you live by, but these are laws. This is what you got to have, right? You can do these principles, but these are the laws. And so that's what it's broken down into. And I don't want to dive too much into it because I'm kind of telling it. But when you look at the principle and the laws, I think it just like, wow. It really wows you because it wowed me. And I, even though, you know, I'm the author behind it, it's a story that everybody can relate to.
What is the message you hope readers of this book receive?
Have relationships, right? You can't do it alone. But in the midst of those relationships, understand that people are going out on their word. And if they can put forth the effort to connect you with someone, you have to stand on that, right? You have to do it the right way. And how do you do it the right way? You do it with integrity. You do it with integrity, right? You do it the right way, and integrity speaks for itself. And in turn, when you have relationships, you have integrity, there comes the loyalty. And so what the loyalty is, it's like some stuff is law. It's some stuff that I'm just not going to do. I'm not going to, you know, it's principles that I stand on, right? And it's principles that we stand on as successful people in the world. It's our obligation to excel in our role and to pay it forward, you know, and to just help somebody else. So, you know, I hope people just take that message from it. Like, it's not about you, right? It's not about you. And that's the reason I wanted to put it on paper, because I study successful people. Right? I study successful people, and it's not just sports. You know, I look at Oprah Winfrey, right? I look at Jay-Z, J. Cole. I look at, like, how are these, Jeff Bezos, right? How are these people so successful? And I listen to their stories, and it's the exact same thing that make LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady successful. And it's like, they're in two different career paths, but it's like they take a loop around the city and they just connect, you know, right at the end. So I think that's what we take from it.
All right, let's plug the book real quick. When's it coming out? Where can people get it?
June 26th, man, 2023. It's my birthday. That's when it's going to be released. It's going to be in Barnes & Noble online. It's going to be on Amazon, but I'm actually going to I'm working on something at a bookstore now. I don't want to, you know, speak prematurely, but very soon, once I confirm that date, it'll be open to the public. You know, you guys can come in and buy it in hand, or you can buy it online. Yep. I'll post a link on all my social media accounts.
Oh, man. Hey, Trey, thanks for stopping by today. Looking forward to reading the book. Trey Draper, Memphis alum, Memphis native. Winning Language coming out at the end of June. Check it out at a bookstore near you.